Now, I don't think we as a society have ever cheered on frat bros. Frat bros are just polo-wearing Hamas. Yeah, we're told they do a lot for the community and are well-funded, but really, all they do is instill fear into women.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The Semi-Daily Night Show with Gary TV, your host, Gary.
Tonight's ceremonial first pitch. And please welcome the President of the United States.
We did it, sir.
just making sure you're paying attention.
Protests have broken out on colleges around the country. Police departments have come in to break up what looks like Coachella for your blue-haired cousin that argues with your family at Thanksgiving about supporting a colonizer's holiday, yet still eats all the candied yams. Columbia, NYU, USC, and UCLA students have taken to campuses to protest the Israel and Palestine war, and the Palestinian supporters have built encampments and locked themselves in buildings. It's a bit hilarious. The only way we protest nowadays is be so annoying with your presence, governors will ask for the military to get rid of you. Columbia students were locked out of their rooms and their meal cards were frozen, forcing the protesters to relocate where they live, and their basic necessities to survive were cut off. Who would do such a thing?
Oh, the very people that are protesting.
Now that was at the beginning of the protests, and like the protesters' genders, I'm going to have to say majors for the TikTok version, things have changed, and these protests have caused some divide. Bigger than the divide between the crop top and that dude's belly button. Because now, Columbia protesters are demanding the college provide
Humanitarian aid.
despite volunteering themselves to be in this situation from the beginning. Humboldt has also joined in the protest by locking themselves in a classroom. Sitting in a room and not leaving is still the most productive thing Humboldt's ever done. Now, everyone has the right to protest. That's what makes the US so great. You also have the right to defend against protests. And frat boys at ASU did just that by helping cops clear out protesters and even protect American flags. Now, I don't think we as a society have ever cheered on frat bros. Frat bros are just polo-wearing Hamas. Yeah, we're told they do a lot for the community and are well-funded, but really, all they do is instill fear into women. The right to protest should exist, but having hobbies should exist more. No one protested when pickleball was at its peak, and that's just an even gayer way of playing tennis.
I'm not sorry.
NYU's faculty members also joined in on the protests, and this just proves that college is fake. How do you have time to protest? I barely have time to eat lunch at my job, and I work from home.
The fridge is right there.
Now, the students are demanding that the college divest from companies that are involved with the Israel versus Palestine war and disclose financial transparency to the students since they pay tuition. And this is a learning moment for college students. It's important that college students learn that odds are you don't want to know where majority of money comes from. This all started as Columbia's president and administrators were testifying on Capitol Hill as Congress was hosting a hearing on anti-Semitism, which is not just them listening to any podcasts of Kanye West from 2023 like I thought it was. Congress got the college administration to agree to do more to stop these protests, and the NYPD arrested hundreds of people since. Local coffee shops and art supply stores are now in a labor shortage. That's not correlated at all.
I made that up, but it's probably true.
This entire thing is confusing. People on the right are applauding when protesters are arrested and cheering for the protests to end. These are the same people with poorly edited USA flags and 1776 profile pictures. You probably have an aunt that does that, who talks about the First Amendment at least 3 times a day. They're telling students to listen to the rules.
1776 was about not listening to rules, Susan.
And now, the Susans of this world have even sided with the protesters when they cheered F. Joe Biden. I'm not here to debate the method of protests, unless it's a Just Stop Oil protester sitting on a highway.
Those people need to be stopped.
But the protesters have begun fortifying encampments, breaking into buildings, and have even begun roping in what looks like Postmated falafel that they definitely didn't tip for. And these protesters aren't being starved. They're free to leave when they want. Actually, everyone wants them to leave, so don't worry about their hunger. Especially this Thanksgiving, when your blue-haired cousin tells you they were blocked inside and they ate all the candied yams again. The government might have banned TikTok. I finally hit 1.5 million views on a TikTok, and it's getting banned.
Good.
Not now, Jocko. You should be in bed right now. Now, last week, the bill was passed by the House, and the bill also included a $61 billion aid package for Ukraine, where the Congress members waved Ukrainian flags and yelled Slava Ukraine. More like
Slava on my crane.
that wasn't good, but I laughed when I wrote it, so it's staying in. Also, it's 11:53 p.m., and my neighbors just heard me say Slava on my crane. Now that the Senate has now passed the possible TikTok ban, The president has signed the bill last Wednesday. This gives ByteDance, the company that owns TikTok, 270 days to either sell the company to a US buyer or it will be banned. And the Montana boys will have to get real jobs. A literal crime against humanity for us to lose their talents. But the good thing is this means viral mouthwash salesman careers might be coming to an end if the president signs the bill. But the good news is he may not remember his name by then.
Come on, man.
TikTok and TikTok's CEO, who is
Senator, I'm Singaporean,
has decided to take this to the court, and this will be dragged on longer than Love is Blind. That show should have ended 2 seasons ago. It's safe to say a large reason this app may be banned is because this is where young people get most of their news. Allegedly. My algorithm is now weird Middle Eastern thirst traps of men and stupid games. So I don't know how any of you are getting news. All I've learned is these dudes dress kind of sick, and I hope they were arranged into marrying some baddies. An outright ban isn't likely. After all, this is America, and the government needs to steal our data like you need an app to be addicted to.
Trump Republicans want to criminalize young Alabama women who travel for reproductive care.
Miss, I'm going to need you to step out of the vehicle, take a pregnancy test.
Stop them by taking action at righttotravel.org.
Alright, this is definitely fake. White people don't get pulled over. The most frustrating part of this ad is they didn't use Farva from Super Troopers. The ad is in reference to Alabama's Attorney General who wants to incriminate women who travel to hit ejectocito to their womb. This is a genius idea to trap anyone in Alabama. And even for Alabama, this is stupid.
Dad, go get him! Dad, go take him down!
Plan A laws seem to be the only thing more common than run clubs right now. Arizona passed a Plan A law from 1864, which was so long ago, Biden was fighting in the Civil War. And you can guess which side for. And now I'm not here to debate the law on this. I'm a man, and debating a law that primarily impacts women is like being a vegan and picking dinner plans. No one wants to hear from you. It's almost as dumb as the governor on the other side of the country making ads about an entirely different state's laws.
We're here to discuss the little Gazas that have risen up on campuses across America.
The little Gazas may finally be coming to an end, conveniently, as REI's 30-day return policy is also coming up. This isn't because they were defeated by the frat bros holding up the flag, which turns out he's a big Taylor Swift guy. The only thing that can make him more American is if he has a Sydney Sweeney flag in his dorm room. And now, if it isn't already a rapper's name, Lil Gaza, it would be a great one. But it may get you into some trouble. As the protests are winding down, politicians seem to be dragging this on as usual. Senator Marsha Blackburn from Tennessee has proposed these students be deported and put on no-fly lists for exercising the First Amendment of this country she was supposed to defend. I'm starting to think her racist ass chose her last name. Speaker Johnson, who's conveniently his last name also means dick, said this.
I mean, if you're a foreign student here and you're participating in this madness, you don't have a right to do that. Maybe your visa should not be extended. Maybe it should be revoked.
The protesters are annoying, but people on visas have the same rights. You're supposed to know this, you. But don't worry, because now anti-Semitism monitors are now being proposed. It's like ADT, but instead of an alarm, it's just Larry David as a hall monitor.
Oh, I wish that'd be so funny.
Except this would be a monitor that reports on the progress colleges have made. When you hear corporate people say progress when talking about DEI, run. It's forced seminars that charge your company more than your monthly salary for a PowerPoint. Matter of fact, send your cousin some candied yams. They're gonna be there for a while.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live.